The Kansas City Barbecue Society certified expert.
Throw the fade, looking for Ferguson. Got it!
Patrick Netherton.
13-yard touchdown. Demons are back in it.
And good afternoon. We welcome you into the Patrick Netherton Show right here on 1130. The Tiger. Grr, 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 grr. Yeah. What's up, everybody? Rogers and I are dragging today. Hambone, I went down a rabbit hole last night, or I should say this morning. And so there's a lady who she's an opera singer, like a vocal coach, and she does really cool breakdowns of singers and songs and all that. Like she's really good. She'll break it down, everything from, kind of musical arrangements, but she mostly focuses on the kind of vocals of whoever's singing, and what their tongues look like, and the mouth shapes and all kind of. I mean, she's really technical, and it's really neat. I like it's kind of piques my scientific brain. And of course, as someone who uses their voice for a living, I always kind of like hearing more about it. Well, she has a thing. It's called the Charismatic Voice. If you've never heard of it, go check her out. She got a bunch of YouTube videos, basically where she goes down and breaks down a song. She goes and she'll grab a song. Some of them are popular, some of them not, just kind of all over the place. And then she breaks it down, and usually the videos are about anywhere from 20 to 25, 30 minutes. She'll go back and forth, kind of going and watch this, watch how they do this. It's really fascinating. And so I got caught in a rabbit hole. I was watching her break down a bunch of different songs, including the Heart performance at the Kennedy Center Honors when they did Led Zeppelin, Stairway to Heaven, and Lizzie Hale, the Hailstorm. I Miss the Misery. So just an interesting thing all the way around. So I got caught in that rabbit hole, and Rogers, I was like, oh, this is, here's Lizzie Hale. Like I'm like getting all, fired up, because obviously we both love I Miss the Misery. And she's breaking it all down, like how crazy are the lyrics, kind of in a bad relationship, but you thrive in it or whatever. And here's how she's doing this with her vocal fry and her whatever, her belt is crazy, all that. And I look over Rogers, and it's 4:15. Yeah, Rogers is already here. I almost texted you, like, hey, buddy, still awake. How are you? Yeah. So yeah, it. It was.
Highway doesn't like Hailstorm as much anymore.
The highway doesn't like Hailstorm as much anymore. Is it gone?
Yep.
It's out of the system.
Yep.
Oh man. The things that are in and not in our system remain a mystery, because I'm pretty sure Dominic the Christmas Donkey's still in the system. There he is. Hey!
Hey, chingity ching. It's Dominic the Donkey.
No, really, it's the Patrick Netherton Show on 1130 The Tiger and 103.3 FM. Yeah, so I got caught in the rabbit hole of the Charismatic Voice, watching her break down. One of the ones I watched her break down, Rogers, was Boston, More Than a Feeling. And she was floored by the lead singer, Brad Delp. Yes. By the way, never heard his name before until last night. And she was talking about him, and I was reading about him. And she was just mesmerized by the way he went into the high voice and the falsetto and how he would go up and then up again. And then at one point he went up again and up again, went to that third highlight. And she was like, she loved it. She was just, and that's the one thing I really enjoy about her, not to just turn this into, hey, go watch the charismatic voice. But the one thing I really enjoy about her is she really appreciates what they do and she gets into it. And I appreciate someone who has something they enjoy and they get into. So there you go. Rogers, it's looking like we will have a new sponsor on Monday. I know, Hambone. Hambone's still about the, don't say, because we had this happen earlier, a few months ago, where we were going to have a new sponsor, and the day of, they were like, no, we're not. And Rogers laughed at my misery. I miss the misery, Raj. Ah! So...
Really close.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. Me and Lizzie Hale, Rogers, same vocal range. Yeah. Oh. Problem is, in order for me to sound like her, I have to go falsetto, and you can't really do a scratchy, gravelly falsetto, with that grit and grind to it. I don't have that. My falsetto, my falsetto is pure. Like the Bee Gees. Like Barry Gibb's falsetto. That's what mine is. So Rogers, we will have a new sponsor on Monday. The real question is, Rogers, where will I be? Because Northwestern State hosts UCLA on Monday at 12:30 in the afternoon. So we are planning on hoping to do the show remotely from Natchitoches. That's the hope. Will that actually happen? I don't know. Again, the issue will not be on the Natchitoches side of things. The issue will be here. Although, Rogers, I chatted with Greg earlier, and he said he thought if you can play videos off of your computer, you should be able to play clean feed off your computer. So we'll see. So E8 said you and Rogers gotten that big dust up, and boom, a new sponsor. We actually met with our new sponsor today for lunch.
No, we didn't.
No? Oh, sorry. No, we did not. We had lunch somewhere else. No, we did not had lunch somewhere else. And your bowl.
Your head.
It's got to be your bowl. No, wait. It's got to be your bowl. And one of the things that we were talking about was our fun little fight that we had from last week. Was it last week? Yeah. Rogers, it's obvious Anthony Richardson is being picked at quarterback by the head coach. And we were actually kind of laughing about it that, Rogers called me you're a freaking idiot on the air. And everybody's like, I can't believe y'all are still friends after that. So I'm like, yeah, what? There's a very real sense of you don't take anything said on the air personally or literally, and you certainly don't take it out of the room. That's one thing I think that's very important for everyone to kind of note is that, Rogers can call me a freaking idiot here. I mean, hell, he could call me a freaking idiot outside the room as well. But I know how Rogers feels about me, right? He's calling my idea a freaking idiot. Like the idea that Jim Irsay is not the one pulling the strings, like you're a freaking idiot. That idea is idiotic. Is basically what it amounts to. I only cried for 30 minutes that night. It was one of those good cathartic, big ugly cries. But only for 30, 45 minutes, or maybe an hour and a half. 45 minutes. Hour and 45 minutes. 2 hours at most. My mom was like, what happened? Rogers just called me a freaking idiot. She had to, like, tell me it's okay. Like, you know, you'll grow up and be okay. Like, everything will be all right. Yeah, let me put your cereal in the microwave for you. Rogers loves that story, by the way. If you don't, I'll tell it real quick. If you don't know what I'm talking about, my mom was always real. She worked hard. You know, she worked 10, 12-hour days. Just really getting after it to provide. She was a single mom, and so, you know, and her diet was also not the best anyway. Like, her idea of a good balanced meal was like a piece of chocolate cake. She's like, it had eggs, it had flour, it has butter, like it's very balanced. So we didn't always eat well. Like, she didn't come home and cook a lot. So, you know, when we went to McDonald's, it's not like we couldn't afford it. She made plenty of money. She just didn't have the time for it. You know, she didn't have the time to come home and cook. So it was a lot of eating out, and then a lot of just kind of whatever's at the house. And so I came home, and I was a bit of a little snit, if you will, back in the day, little spoiled brat. So I come home from health class. I want to say it's maybe 4th grade. I come home from health class, and I'm eating cereal for dinner. Cold, you know, just a Frosted Flakes in a bowl with some milk or whatever. And I proceeded to tell her that, according to what I learned in my health class, that we're supposed to have a hot meal for dinner, which is absurd, right? Like, you couldn't go eat a cold salad and not be nutritious. But anyway, so I told her, I learned in health class, as I'm eating my cold cereal, you know, my Frosted Flakes or Lucky Charms or whatever I was eating, and I said, look, I was told in class that we're supposed to have a hot meal for dinner. And she said, oh, is that right? And she took my cereal and she put it in the microwave for like 45 seconds. And then she plopped it back down in front of me as steam is rising off of the milk and the cereal. And she goes, well, there's your damn hot meal. Enjoy. So, yeah. I know, Rogers. And now, Rogers, I fix her hot meals. She doesn't eat cold cereal. She eats actual food. I mean, sometimes she eats like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich or turkey sandwich or something. All right. What's up, everybody? It's the Patrick Netherton Show, 11:30 The Tiger. Hey, don't forget, 4 o'clock, Michael Desormeaux, the head coach of the ULL Ragin Cajuns, Louisiana Lafayette Ragin Cajuns, head coach, as the Netherton Coaches Caravan continues, cruising down the concrete curb. Ran out of C words. Rogers calls me another C word most of the time. But I'm kidding, Rogers. I'm kidding. Cool dude. I think that's what the C word was. Cool dude. So, we got Michael Desormeaux coming up at 4 o'clock right here on the Patrick Netherton Show as we continue our Coaches Caravan, heading on down to Lafayette. Hoping in the next day or two to potentially maybe get one more coach in before the end of the week, and then who knows if we'll be able to get anyone after that. You know, it is week 0 coming up, so there is going to be a lot of action going on. Rogers, we got the mock game happening tomorrow night for Northwestern State. Speaking of Hambone, we were talking yesterday about Paul Skeens being the Radiance Technologies Independence Bowl kickoff dinner featured speaker. Well, the Northwestern State / Independence Bowl kickoff lunch is tomorrow at Superior Steakhouse, 11:45. I think it's $20. That's all inclusive. Get your drink, get your first course, your salad, your main dish, your dessert, bread and butter, all that. That will be at tomorrow at 11:45 at Two Johns at Superior Steakhouse. I wish it was at Two Johns. That is. It's the Northwestern State / Independence. Yeah, I said NSU Demons / Independence Bowl.
I was like, wait a
Kickoff luncheon. Yeah, it's so they always combine the events. So, yeah, if you are a fan of the Demons or a fan of the Independence Bowl, then come out tomorrow at 11:45 at Superior Steakhouse. And you can hang out. Brad Laird will be there. Kevin Bostian will be there. We'll have a whole bevy of folk from the Independence Bowl and your Northwestern State crew. And we'll give you an update on the Demons, what's going on, and get you set for the fall sports. So come out tomorrow, 11:45, Superior Steakhouse, NSU/Independence Bowl kickoff luncheon. You might get a ham bone sighting. You never know. I mean, what more reason do you need to show up than potentially a ham bone sighting? Watch him enjoy a big old piece of meatloaf. I'll have to call over there tonight, Rogers. Be like, hey, what are y'all serving tomorrow? And can we get one burger? Just one well done. Yeah, like a one. Can I get one well done burger, please? That would be nice. So yeah, that's what we got going on tomorrow. Superior Steakhouse, 11:45. The NSU/Independence Bowl kickoff luncheon, where we will preview the Northwestern State Demon football season. Kevin Bostian, the athletic director, will be there. Kind of signals the start of football season for us. That's when we know it's here. And then, Rogers, I got Sunday soccer, Monday volleyball, Tuesday volleyball. Got a lot of action happening here in the next few days. And then the next Saturday, Demon football at
A week from this Saturday?
Yeah, a week from this Saturday. Demon football at ULL, who we will talk to head coach Michael Desormeaux coming up at 4 o'clock. Hey, see how I just brought all that back in, Rogers? Just tied it all right back in a pretty bow. There's your gift. Hambone, happy birthday.
It's almost like a shiny new smile.
Oh, okay. I like that. You know, or if you, maybe you're missing some teeth. You know, might need new teeth at some point. Don't know what you do about that, Rogers. But maybe I'll have it figured out by Monday. Hey, that's a picture of Kiss over there in a frame. Look at that.
It's a copy of Peter Chris's autograph.
Oh, Peter Chris's autograph. There you go. Nice. Where's the Ace Frehley autograph, though? That's what we need.
It's at home.
Oh, you got that one at home?
It's in the box.
It's in the safety deposit box.
Yeah, it's in the shadow box.
Yeah. All right.
And the original is with it.
Yes, I understand. All right, Patrick Netherton Show, 1130 The Tiger. 320-1130 is our phone number, 318-320-1130.
Hello.
You can text us on the Bobby L. Green Plumbing text line. That number is 318-6570-HAM, 318-657-0426, also known as the
Bobby L. Green Plumbing
text line. And we're also available on YouTube. That's right, YouTube. I mean, come on, man. Get on the YouTube train. I don't know if they have a train or not, Rogers. Yes, get on the old YouTube train, folks. We'd love to have you. Sitting at 200, Rogers, we got a bunch of subscribers yesterday. We're sitting now at 230 subscribers. I believe we started yesterday at like 220 or 221. Whatever it takes. What was that from?
Mr. Mom.
Mr. Mom, that's right. Yeah, 220, 221, whatever it takes. Yeah, we're up to 230 subscribers on the channel. So if you're so inclined, we'd love for you to subscribe to the Patrick Netherton Show YouTube channel. That is youtube.com/@Netherton Show. YouTube.com.
Yes, sir!
Whoa, what was the other guy?
It was the same dude.
They just looped his voice over the top of himself?
Two of them together.
Oh, you played two of them together.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's...
It's two different
I thought someone had like looped his own voice on top of himself. You know, like actually one of the things that we're talking about is one of the songs that I listened to last night, Rogers, was Karen Carpenter. And they were talking about how they called her One Take Karen because she could do any song that she did it in one take. She never, and they said she was so technically proficient that every live show sounded identical to the record version. Like, she was so good. And I guess her brother was kind of her composer and everything. They talked about how great he was, and it was Why Do Birds Suddenly Appear Every Time You're Near? Richard. You watching The Little Rascals? So, yeah, if you would like to subscribe to the YouTube channel, please do it. YouTube.com/@Netherton Show. We'd like to get to 250 subscribers by the start of week 1. So we're 20 away. Only 20 subscribers away. If we can get 20 subscribers between now and next Friday, then we'll be good to go. And then we'd like to double that by the end of football season. And, of course, more people start tuning in during football season. We understand that. So we'd love to have that happen. So if you are so inclined and you've not subscribed to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/@Netherton Show. youtube.com/@Netherton Show. We would love to have you as a subscriber. Videos are dropping. It's where you can see our live videos like we have right now. Terry Bowden is now up on there. So if you are so inclined to watch the Terry Bowden interview, it is up. Great conversation with him, and the Michael Desormeaux interview will be up in a bit as well. So if you are so inclined, go subscribe to the YouTube page. Costs nothing, completely free. YouTube.com/@Netherton Show. We're also available on Twitter. Tweet. The Twitter is @Netherton Show. That's the main Twitter feed. That guy over there is @HeyBoy Rogers. @HeyBoy Rogers. Don't forget the S at the end of it, like his shirt. Yeah, he's got an official Town Square shirt that they put Roger on, and then realized the mistake and tried to throw the S on at the end, but it looks terrible. It's got like a big gap between it. It looks like it's literally like Roger S. So, yeah. So find us there @HeyBoy Rogers, @Netherton Show, @PT Netherton on Twitter or X or whatever we're calling it now. Also available in the app. 1130 The Tiger. Search for it on Google Play or iTunes App Store. And you can listen to us in crystal clear HD audio. And the man on the ones and twos, ladies and gentlemen.
We represent the Lollipop Guild, the Lollipop Guild, the Lollipop Guild, and in the name of the Lollipop Guild, we wish to welcome you to Munchkinland.
Hey, boy. Hey, boy.
Hi, man.
Hello.
What's up, my dude?
It's hump day.
Yeah.
And the heat's
Yeah.
catching up to all of us, I can tell. Even though we're fortunate enough to be
111.
inside.
111 right now.
Just a little bit we go outside and
a
a
little bit.
Just a little bit, It's catching up to me, man.
Catching up to me, man.
I just feel for the people that have to work out in this.
You kind of got a little John Gruden in there, Rogers.
Hey, man.
Hey, kind of catching up to me,
Banana
man.
YZ.
Yeah. Kind of catching
I'm
up to me,
going to go down
man.
to the Big Easy and help my old friend D.A.
You know, hey, man.
Hey, man.
Hey, let me tell you something, man.
Hey, man.
Let me tell you something. That's how I get Gruden is.
Man.
Let me tell you something.
Is that Freedom Rock?
Yeah, man. We'll turn it up, man. Lord, I was on a rambling man. Oh, so good. But yes, my 4 hours of sleep wasn't ideal last night, Rogers.
That's maybe my average. So
Yeah.
imagine that every night.
right.
Woo.
I mean, at least you're used to it, but
Yeah. Because that same kind of thing for me is when all of a sudden I'll look up and it's 10:30.
Mm-hmm.
And when in the first couple hours I get home between like 5:30 and 7:30, man, I'm going to go to bed early tonight.
Right.
I can
This is
feel
the
it.
night I'm
This
gonna make
is the
it.
night.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, I have a couple beers, get that third Hampton win. And next thing you know, I look up and it's 10:30, and I'm like, oh, damn, I haven't even set the alarm clock.
Yeah, that's not good.
And that's that same feeling of, oh, man, I've got to force myself to lay down.
So you have to set your alarm clock every night?
I do it just to.
Okay. Because
it's just a habit.
Right. That's the fun thing with
only child OCD right there.
That's the fun thing with like having a phone is I have a weekday alarm and it goes off every time. And I even set it this last while for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday have a 9 o'clock alarm. Thursday, Friday have a 6:30 alarm, and then the weekend is 9:30.
And I set them to 2 different times just in case one doesn't work.
That actually reminds me, Rogers, I need to go back and reset
And my second
that.
one is a battery operated one in case I lose power during the night. So I got one that's the old school alarm clock with the red flashing, digits on it. Mm-hmm. That's my super loud one that'll wake me up first. And then right on the little desk next to me, I have a little portable that, in case the electricity is out, it'll at least go off like 10 minutes after the other one was supposed to.
That actually reminds me, I need to go back and delete the upcoming 6:30 Thursday and Friday alarms because I still thought we had one more week of.
A while ago, I'd already had some songs in for Thursday and Friday for your section and you and Adam's section of the show. Mm-hmm. So I had to go through and kick all those out.
Yeah,
because the plan was, I just think Fletch kind of got the weeks confused. He thought he had one more week, I think, of Thursday and Friday, and then we realized, oh, no, this is a Jamboree week.
Yep.
It's
week
time
0.
to get the high school coaches started. So we just had 3 straight weeks of doing Thursday, Friday, but now this is it. We're back. Coaches carousel has started.
Hey, this is it, Rogers. Make no mistake where you are.
Shiggity-ba.
Make no mistake where you are, brother.
Tomorrow officially is going to be the Independence Bowl NSU club
kickoff
thing.
luncheon.
That's when I know. Mm-hmm. Tomorrow when I see all the media people and I get to see some of my buddies from NSU, get to see Coach Brad. That for me is when, okay, this is it now. I know it's been it, but now we're all gathered here. There's Missy. We're good.
By the way, Rogers, I was changing my alarm to go back to 9 o'clock for Thursday, Friday, and as I was changing it, I happened upon my sleep numbers from last night. I was in bed for 8 hours and 26 minutes. I was asleep for 4 hours and 24 minutes.
That's crazy how that can detect that.
It knows.
Yeah.
And by the way, that's highly accurate.
He knows.
Yeah, that's highly accurate.
It's about as accurate as my phone.
Okay.
Since I kind of like being 30 minutes ahead, whatever's happening with my cell phone, it kind of fits into the way I read time.
Okay. All right, coming up at the top of the hour, Michael Desormeaux.
Whenever I see your smiling face, I have to smile myself because I love you.
Gotta love a little JT.
Yes, I do.
All right, we'll take a break. Patrick Netherton Show rolls on. Your text when we come back.
That pretty little pout, it turns me inside out. There's something about you, baby. I don't know.
I have diabetes. I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
I have asthma. I'm at risk too.
If you're 19 or older with chronic conditions like asthma, diabetes, COPD, or heart disease, or are 65 or older, you are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a vaccine that can help protect you against pneumococcal pneumonia in just 1 dose. Even if you've already been vaccinated with other pneumonia vaccines, Prevnar 20 may help provide added protection. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
The extracurricular activities, the traffic, the nightly homework, the traffic, the finding time to eat dinner together as a family, the traffic. Back to school can be stressful. Thanks to Ziploc, meal prep doesn't have to be. New Ziploc bags with Stay Open design have a patented stand-up bottom that helps keep the bag upright and a top crease that folds and holds for easy filling, unlocking a second set of hands in the kitchen. If only it unlocked a second set of lanes. New Ziploc brand freezer and storage bags with Stay Open design from SC Johnson, a family company.
What's holding you back from learning the language you've always wanted to know?
Too hard.
Takes too long.
Not with Babbel. Babbel's lessons take just 15 minutes a day.
15 minutes isn't long.
Nope. And they're fun. So you don't realize you're learning a language, but you are. In 3 weeks, you're able to start having conversations. And Babbel's lessons are built around real life.
And with Babbel, it isn't hard.
It's perfect.
Now try Babbel free. Just go to Babbel.com. That's BABBEL.com.
Bobby L. Green Plumbing has been in business for over 6 decades, 60 plus years. That's remarkable, since technology is always shifting and times change. Not only has Bobby L. Green Plumbing survived, they adapted to the modern marketplace, and they've thrived. Green Plumbing can spot trouble faster and repair it quicker using the latest technology. That eliminates your discomfort and saves you money. Bobby L. Green, the Green Team, the plumbing team you like best.
If you're looking for the finest in seafood, the finest in steaks, and a beautiful ambiance, you're looking for Two John's Steak and Seafood, 2151 Airline Drive in Bossier City. It is absolutely spectacular, from the New Orleans-style courtyard to the ambiance of the bar to the elegance of the dining room. The best steaks, the best seafood, one of the best wine lists in town, and don't forget Friday lunch, where you can have a beautiful ribeye burger, just the tastiest one in town. It's Two John's Steak and Seafood, and make sure you tell Big John we said hello.
At Rejuvenate, we specialize in medically monitored hormone replacement therapy, giving you the energy you need for all life's challenges. We can help get your day started. 1, 2, 1, 2. We can help with those long work days, and we can even make your nights longer. Rejuvenate. Let us be your age-defying clinic. Restore me, refuel me, rejuvenate.
We're your local bank in your community. So come on in and say hi. You'll like what you see at your service. At GBT. At your service. At GBT. At your service. At GBT. We're gonna make it right for you every day, every way. We're at your service. At GBT. At your service. GBT. Come on. We're more than a bank. We're the friend you turn to when it's gotta be right. No matter how big, no matter how small, we're here to serve you and we give it our all. 'Cause we're at your service. At GBT. At your service. At GBT. We're at your service. At GBT. We're the Gibbsman Bank and Trust, and we're at your service. GBT.
Member FDIC.
Experts call it blight. It's a big problem we can't ignore anymore. Abandoned properties can attract drugs and crime. They're eyesores and safety hazards. And they aren't always paying property taxes like the rest of us. Meanwhile, Louisiana's number 48 in police pay, number 35 in teacher pay, and dead last in firefighter pay. The new rule, when I'm governor, will be if you leave a property to become an eyesore and a haven for crime and drugs, we'll take it and get it to someone who'll fix it up. Someone who pays taxes, like you do. It will help fight crime and help us pay police, teachers, and firefighters what they deserve. I'm Hunter Lundy. I'm a Christian and an independent, and I'm running for governor. Politicians don't pay attention to things that work, but I do.
Hunter Lundy, Governor.
Paid for by Lundy for Louisiana.
Hey, just stop by to say hello, and my gosh, look how busy it is in here. How'd you get all these customers?
Yeah, this month has been a record breaker. You know, for a long time, we had decent business coming in by word of mouth, but we weren't growing. Lately, though, a lot of folks have been finding us online, and that's made all the difference.
That's terrific. I wish I could figure out how to do that with my shop, but I have no idea where to start.
Just do what I did. It's not as hard as you think. Go to mylocalcustomers.com to see exactly how many searches there are for businesses just like yours.
Okay, then what?
Well, if you see there are a good number of clients searching in our area, you'll also get some suggestions for the best way to get their attention.
Do you think there are a lot of people searching for my business?
Only one way to find out. Go to mylocalcustomers.com. It's quick, easy, and free. Go to mylocalcustomers.com for a free local customer analysis that will show you how many customers are searching online for your type of business. It's quick, easy, and free. Visit mylocalcustomers.com. That's mylocalcustomers.com.
103.3 FM and 1130 The Tiger, Shreveport's home for LSU sports.
Floating through the airwaves like smooth hickory smoke, Patrick Netherton.
Primus, Rogers? Yes. Primus, also known as Primus. Rogers, you're getting, if Jeff's listening to the show today, my buddy, he's real excited. This was his group back in the day. He loved some Primus. Went and watched them all over the place. I think they did I want to say they did a show that was all like the music of the Wizard of Oz or something. Yeah, they did something kind of weird one time. That was a show, and it was like it was like they were all doing music of some other thing, and he went and watched that. It was great. But yeah, he was a big Primus guy back in the day. All right, let's get to some text messages on the Bobby L. Green Plumbing text line. On the YouTube channel, and again, you can comment on the YouTube Live. That is youtube.com/@Netherton Show. You can comment there. Cool Kicker said, I'm back. Have you ever interviewed high school coaches? Bye. Okay. Yes, we've interviewed high school coaches from time to time. It's just not a really, that's Fletcher's deal. Fletch is way more on the high school side of things, the local side of things. We kind of stay regional, national. I have talked to high school coaches on occasion when I felt like it warranted it. But for the most part, no. We kind of stay. That's Fletch's domain, and I kind of stay out of his way. So that's where we don't really talk to a lot of high school coaches. All right, let's see. High Rail said Podna's Barbecue in Bossier City is top notch. All right, thank you, High Rail. Go in. This is from yesterday, Rogers. Remember we were talking about the soccer guy who kissed the girl on the lips? Go in said, who does he think he is? Richard Dawson? My dad loves to kiss people, including me. I'm like, come on, Dad. Geez, he's 78. It's that generation. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. The first time I ever saw, someone older greet someone else by kissing them on the lips, I just thought that was weird. And I understand it's oh, by the way, Rogers, Jeff just texted me and said, woo, Primus. And it was the Willy Wonka soundtrack, apparently. So the Willy Wonka soundtrack as played by Primus. So, yeah, Jeff was apparently listening to the show at that point. He got a little Primus love. Yeah, I always found it strange. Like, why are we kissing each other on the lips? Like, even, it's one thing if it's like a parent kid, but even then, Rogers, correct me if I'm wrong, once it got to a certain age, didn't it get a little weird to, like, kiss your own kid on the lips? Like, I don't know. It just seemed strange. And then I couldn't imagine greeting a female friend of mine by kissing her on the lips. Like, I just couldn't fathom it. Hell, Rogers, half the girls I know don't even want to hug me. Something else, though. Big Peanut said, Patrick, I posted something about your interview tomorrow with Coach Desormeaux on a Ragin Cajun message board. Yes, there is one of those. Hopefully we can get you some more subscribers with that. Thank you, Big Peanut. Much appreciated. That interview will be coming your way in about 22 minutes or so. We'll have Michael Desormeaux, the head coach of the Ragin Cajuns. EH said, you and Rogers gotten that big dust up. Boom, new sponsor. Well, if you knew who the sponsor was, you'd realize that perhaps they're sponsoring the show because maybe Rogers did something to me that would require their services. How's that, Rogers? Is that kind of weirdly vague enough to, like, Rogers and I, gotten a dust up, and so something he did to me would require the services of our new sponsor coming up on Monday. We'll see. Double J said, I hear Rogers consumed some beverages during your non-lunch meeting without a new sponsor. And he sent me, oh, Rogers, you know there's Kiss beer? So there you go. Kiss Destroyer beer. I'm assuming you've never had it? No. I wonder what its like flavor profile is. You know what I mean? Like I wonder what it's supposed to taste like. Very curious. Kiss Destroyer beer. Let's see. Fully licensed by Kiss themselves. It delivers 4.7% alcohol and a good head of foam, along with a smooth yet slightly bitter flavor to your palate. It is a Swedish brewed beer, which, according to the press release, was an easy-to-drink beer in the best German tradition. A careful brewing process creates its great head of foam, nice flavor, and a balanced bitterness like an original Pilsner. Well, Roger, isn't that what Budweiser is, a Pilsner? I think Budweiser's a Pilsner. The Cool Brew is available in both bottles and cans, only available in Europe and later Australia. The long neck was later released with the black label. Obviously, whoever came up with the hottest beer in the world was not a beer drinker. That's the slogan on the beer can, Rogers. Kiss Destroyer beer, hottest beer in the world. So there you go. Yeah, Pilsner. That's a Budweiser. Because that's what I asked for when we went to was it 7th Tap, and I was like, "What's the closest thing to Budweiser?" And they're like, "Yeah, it's a Pilsner," and it was like something Pilsner. I think that's right. Double J also said you need to use the defrost function when heating up your Mr. T cereal so it doesn't get too hot too fast and start to fall off the bone. I think you mixed your metaphors a bit there, Double J. Be careful. Don't want to mix your metaphors, my friend. Styles said, you and Rogers' banter last week is like two coaches going at it on the headsets during a football play. Over and done after the play. Well, unless you're Buddy Ryan and Kevin Gilbride, in which case it's not done after the play. Yeah, coaches are all about, they'll argue and get after it. But here's the thing. You have to get rid of it by the next play. Because if you don't, who's calling the next play? Right? You got to get rid of that. It's a flush it and move on. Chuck, who obviously listens to the show, Rogers, said this heat needs to go and get. You go and get.
Go and get heat.
He said go on get, but I think he definitely meant go and get. But if you're going to spell that, I think it's got to be G-I-T, right, Rogers? G-I-T, probably. Yeah. Even G-Y-I-T, get. You go and get. You go and heat. Go and get. Double J, Jamie G said, does Double J's subscription count on the YouTube subscriber list? Kind of like he uses his phones, his mom's, his sisters, his brother-in-laws, and his dad's to win the Two Johns gift cards. Hey, I have said from the beginning, the only thing I need from you is a separate phone number. If you got 5 people with different phone numbers that can send in guesses, send them in. I just will not accept multiple guesses from the same person or the same phone number. So, if Double J was like, give me Pitt, I think Pitt's going to get one, and I think Virginia's going to pull an upset. No, it's not how it works. But if Double J says, I think Pitt's got an upset, and then Double J's mom says Virginia for the upset, then that's fine. As long as it's from different phone numbers. That's my line of demarcation. Got to be different phone numbers. Big Blue said, are you starting the football contest next week? Yes, Big Blue. Yes, we are. We will have the Two Johns upset special beginning next week for week 1. I thought about waiting an extra week, Rogers, to get to week 1 of the NFL. But let's be honest. Most of the people who win the Two Johns upset special, it comes from college football because the lines in the NFL just aren't big enough. I mean, when you have remember a couple times last year, Rogers, there was like a 12-point line and we were all freaking out about it. Yeah, that's, double-digit lines are rare in the NFL. So you're going to typically win the upset special on college games. So that's why we feel like we can start next week, with the Two Johns upset special, because we feel reasonably like there will be, it's week one. All the games are going to be, everybody's playing in week one. So we feel good about it. So yes, the Two Johns upset special will start next week. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, Two Johns Steak and Seafood is providing gift certificates, a $50 gift certificate to Two Johns. Rogers, that would be at 2151 Airline Drive, just north of the railroad tracks, home of the best steak and seafood you're going to find, one of the best wine lists in the state. Signature cocktails that their master craftsmen behind the bar are able to, I believe they call them mixologists. But they are fantastic at what they do. Two John Steak and Seafood, 2151 Airline Drive, just the best in fine dining. Doesn't get better than that. And then, of course, they have Friday lunch, which is also very spectacular. Friday lunch, where you can get a ribeye burger, a pulled pork sandwich with the Leon's barbecue sauce on it. They always have a Friday special. Last week's special, Rogers, was a po' boy. I believe it was a parm, like a chicken parm po' boy. Looked great. So, yeah, Two Johns Steak and Seafood, 2151 Airline Drive. So, Two Johns donated $50 gift certificates. And, Rogers, I have 11 of them in hand. Well, not right now, but close by. So, we can rest assured that at least for 11 weeks, I will get you your gift certificate if you won. And so the way you do it is you text us. We'll start it on Thursday of next week. Depending on what the Thursday games are, I got to look at the schedule. Obviously, we haven't seen the schedule yet. But depending on what the Thursday games are, maybe we'll do. Maybe we'll start it on Wednesday. Just depends. But yeah, it is. You basically text me on the Bobby L. Green Plumbing text line the biggest underdog that you believe will win outright. So you see Cal is a 17-point underdog to Virginia Tech. And you're like, I think Cal's going to win that game. You pick it. Cal wins. Now you have a 17-point upset. If someone does not get better than a 17-point upset, if you get a couple people that have 11-point upsets or 9-point upsets, whatever, then you win outright. If someone has a better upset, someone picked a 20-point underdog to win, and they do, then you lose out. And if there's a tie where 4 people picked an 18-point upset and that was the winner, then we go with some sort of a tie-breaking thing. Either we do a random number or have Rogers throw darts at something, whatever. So that's how we break ties. But that's what you do. You send in your biggest upset that you believe will win outright, biggest underdog you believe will win outright. The winner every week gets a $50 gift certificate to Two Johns Steak and Seafood. 2151 Airline Drive, just north of the railroad tracks. Yes, Mr. Hampton?
Well, kind of a little sad GeekCon related news from a guest from a couple of years ago, Mick Foley.
Okay, yeah.
He just tweeted out, Terry Funk is gone.
Yeah.
I just talked to Terry's daughter, Brandy, who gave me the awful news. He was my mentor, my idol, one of the closest friends. He was the greatest wrestler I ever saw. And the reason it kind of hits home for me is it's one of Adam's favorites. And Adam tweeted out right after, I was just telling some of my students about Over the Top, the movie.
Yeah.
Terry Funk is a legend in every sense, one of the greatest pro wrestlers ever, while also being one of the most underrated, also in 2 of my favorite movies of all time, Over the Top and Roadhouse.
Yeah.
So I know that one hits for Adam, and I'm looking at Mick Foley's picture right there. So apparently he's the one that's breaking the news that Terry Funk has passed away.
All right, yeah, Terry Funk was a great wrestler, and one of those guys was old school, wasn't afraid to get bloody a little bit, and that's why Mick Foley is such a fan, because that's how Mick Foley is, not afraid to get bloody. To throw a bunch of tacks in the ring and get suplexed on the tacks, that kind of stuff. That's the Terry Funk style, and that's the Mick Foley style as well. Johnny said on the Bobby L. Green Plumbing text line, the new sponsor is Shreveport Police Department? No. No. Hambone, you'll find out. Monday, new sponsor. Rogers, I'm grinning ear to ear thinking about it. Double J said Roadhouse, R.I.P. Yeah, Terry Funk, one of the dudes in Roadhouse. Hate to see that. Yeah, he was a hell of a wrestler, and again, one of those old school hardcore guys. You know, those are the guys that, and again, that's what Mick Foley ended up becoming. Was one of the big hardcore guys. Rogers, there's a famous story that Mick Foley was wrestling someone in like a hardcore match, and the hardcore match is where they've got, they got the 2x4 that's wrapped in barbed wire. They're throwing tacks out in the ring and whatever. And Foley apparently at one point was battling, I think it was Triple H maybe, in a hardcore match, and Triple H body slammed him or suplexed him onto a whole bed of tacks. So they're all like stuck in his back, and he gets up and Triple H is, I think it was Triple H, but I don't remember. But whoever was with him was telling the story that, he gets up and his back is just covered in tacks, and they're all, pushed into his skin, and some of them fall out, and there's little pinpricks of blood and everything. And he said that, and, because they communicate during the match in the ring, and he said apparently Foley was dissatisfied with the number of tacks that were in his back, and so he told him to do it again. And whoever it was, Triple H or Stone Cold or whoever, was like, dude, you're good. And he's like, no, do it again. I don't have enough tacks in my back. So they did that over so that there would be more tacks that would be in Mick Foley's back. Like, just tells you how ridiculous those guys are.
Yeah.
Like, those guys are nuts. I mean, no thank you. No thank you. All right, see what's going on in the world of sports. We got a bunch of games today that are already going on in baseball. Tour Championship begins tomorrow in golf. You've got a lot of NFL news with a Cowboy being arrested on multiple charges. Tua defends his offseason aim to bulk up frame. Chiefs Jones, I believe that's their defensive end, right? Chris Jones said he's willing to hold out until week 8 if he doesn't get what he wants. You got a wide receiver, Corey Davis, for the Jets, stepping away from the NFL at the age of 28. And apparently,
that's all
your mic's off there.
Yeah, that's all refresh stuff there. That's good stuff.
Yeah.
49ers have named their quarterback depth chart. Sam Darnold wins number 2. Trey Lance falls to 3.
Yeah. Yep.
And the Colts are fielding offers for Jonathan Taylor. So it
a lot of stuff happening in the NFL. It's interesting to see that Trey Lance look, the real problem with Trey Lance is he just doesn't have reps. He didn't, what did he play, like one game in the COVID season because the FCS barely played? Then he had like one game, then he got drafted. He just doesn't have, and he hasn't really played in the NFL much, so he doesn't have meaningful game reps at any point. And if you're just reduced to being a practice player, it's kind of hard to win a job. The 49ers look at what's-his-face did last year, and he goes undefeated, and they have a terrific time with him. Now he gets hurt. What's his name, Rogers? 49ers starter?
Brock Purdy.
Purdy, thank you. You so Purdy. You got a Purdy mouth, boy. So, yeah, he gets to get on the field and show his mettle, even though he gets injured. Brock Purdy's only got 5 games or whatever in the NFL, but he has more games than Trey Lance at this point. So yeah, if you're gonna pick a guy, you're not gonna be inclined to let the guy in practice beat out the dude who has the game experience and has proven that he can win in game conditions. over the guy who hasn't played in a game and who has only been in practice. Practice? I'm talking about practice, Rogers. Not a game, just practice. So, yeah, it's going to be a lot more difficult for Trey Lance to get that move to the top. And Sam Darnold, same thing, right? Sam Darnold has a ton of game experience. Trey Lance has basically none. So if you're going to plan to take someone and put them in that scenario as the starter or the backup, you're way more likely to take the guy who's got game experience versus the guy who's only got practice experience. All right. Michael Desormeaux, the head coach of it was The Undertaker, Rogers. It was Mankind versus The Undertaker. So Mick Foley and The Undertaker. All right. Michael Desormeaux, the head coach of the ULL Ragin Cajuns, is next.
Bobby L. Green Plumbing has been in business for over 6 decades, 60-plus years. That's remarkable, since technology is always shifting and times change. Not only has Bobby L. Green Plumbing survived, they adapted to the modern marketplace, and they've thrived. Green Plumbing can spot trouble faster and repair it quicker using the latest technology. That eliminates your discomfort and saves you money. Bobby L. Green, the Green Team, the plumbing team you like best.
If you're looking for the finest in seafood, the finest in steaks, and a beautiful ambiance, you're looking for Two John Steak and Seafood, 2151 Airline Drive in Bossier City. It is absolutely spectacular, from the New Orleans-style courtyard to the ambiance of the bar to the elegance of the dining room. The best steaks, the best seafood, one of the best wine lists in town, and don't forget Friday lunch, where you can have a beautiful ribeye burger, just the tastiest one in town. It's Two John Steak and Seafood, and make sure you tell Big John we said hello.
At Rejuvenate, we specialize in medically monitored hormone replacement therapy, giving you the energy you need for all life's challenges. We can help get your day started. 1, 2, 1, 2. We can help with those long work days, and we can even make your nights longer. Rejuvenate. Let us be your age-defying clinic. Restore me, refuel me, rejuvenate.
Hello, Shreveport Bossier. This is Dr. Brenner Bonnet of Shreveport Bossier Family Dental. I'm excited to announce that we are now offering Botox treatments. That's right, you can now get your dental work and Botox all in one place. Our team is dedicated to helping you look and feel your best. Whether it's reducing fine lines and wrinkles or improving your smile or mild facial pain, we've got you covered. So why wait? Call us today, schedule your Botox appointment, and let us help you achieve your dream look. Shreveport Bossier Family Dental, where your smile and beauty is our priority.
Blue Star medicated ointment works fast to relieve the pain and itch of almost any skin irritation.
It's amazing. It's like as soon as you put it on, you can feel it working. We've had Blue Star in the family for years. It works on everything.
I love the cooling sensation on my athlete's foot.
What a relief for my eczema.
Nothing worked on my dry, cracked skin until I tried Blue Star.
Blue Star is great for scalp itch.
Look for the white box with the Blue Star in the first aid section. Feel Blue Star work fast, or your money back.
To your left, our new exhibit, Monarchs of Springfield. And right here, we have our empty tour guide stand.
The last time Bryn hired someone is ancient history.
Sir, excuse me, that's not part of the exhibit.
They need tour guides who know the museum ropes.
Hey, kid, you like wearing khakis? I got a job for you.
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
50% off everything has arrived at Banana Republic Factory for a limited time. Explore end-of-summer savings on reimagined classics, fall-ready styles, and more, only at your nearest Banana Republic Factory store.
11:30 The Tiger, your home for LSU sports, powered by Jack Spring Electric.
The Dell Technologies Back to School event is on with deals on top tech for class, hobbies, and more. Now, when you buy, you support a cause. With every eligible purchase, Dell will donate to UNICEF in support of GIGA, a UNICEF ITU global initiative to connect schools across the globe to the internet. Accidental damage protection included. Get rare deals on select laptops and desktops powered by the latest Intel Core processors. Save now at Dell.com/deals. UNICEF does not endorse any company, brand, product, or service.
What's holding you back from learning the language you've always wanted to know?
Too hard. Takes too long.
Not with Babbel. Babbel's lessons take just 15 minutes a day.
15 minutes isn't long.
Nope. And they're fun. So you don't realize you're learning a language, but you are. In 3 weeks, you're able to start having conversations. And Babbel's lessons are built around real life.
And with Babbel, it isn't hard. It's perfect.
Now try Babbel free. Just go to Babbel.com. That's BABBEL.com.
It's the Make This the Summer event going on at Landers Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram.
Hold on, Trey. I don't mean to stop you there, but
that was rude.
One thing that I've learned about this area is people love jingles. People
hate jingles.
No. People love jingles.
No, Crystal, stop.
I'm telling you.
People don't like the jingles.
If you want your commercial to work.
All right, you think they want to hear me do this? At Landers.
Yes.
No, nobody wants that.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
No, that's not what they want. All they want to know is that Landers has $12,000 off MSRP on a 2023 Ram 1500 Limited. Or how about $10,000 off MSRP on a 2023 Ram 1500 Rebel? And that's not all. We also have 1.9 plus employee pricing on 2023 Jeep Gladiator Sports. And we have plenty to choose from.
You know what would make that even better? If you sang it like in a jingle.
And remember, if it doesn't say Landers
on the back of your truck,
you probably paid too much.
See? We're getting somewhere.
I'll never do that again.
KWKH and K277DO Shreveport, 103.3 FM and 1130 The Tiger. Bossier City's home for LSU Sports, a Town Square Media station.
Let's get to the meat of the matter with producer Rogers Hampton.
Hey, boy!
Here's your master of ceremonies, Patrick Netherton.
Welcome you back to the Patrick Netherton Show right here on 1130 The Tiger. And we're going to head a little farther south for today's edition of the Netherton Show Coaches Caravan as we bebop all around the state of Louisiana, try to talk to all the Division I head coaches. And we're headed down to a team that came up to Shreveport last year, ended their season in the Independence Bowl. It is the Ragin Cajuns, and their head coach, Michael Desormeaux, joins us. Coach, first of all, how are you? Camp's underway. We're getting close to the season. How you feeling?
I'm great, man. Camp, we actually wrapped up camp with school starting today.
Mm-hmm.
So wrapped up camp last night and, kind of start getting the transition into, our in-season schedule and in-season processes a little bit here.
It is here. It's crazy to consider. The offseason felt like it lasted forever and went by in the blink of an eye. But I want to start with the end of last season because you guys did get to come up here to the Independence Bowl. You faced Houston, tough game. It was a very physical matchup. Ultimately, Houston ended up getting the better of you. But what was that like? Tell me about the trip to, an in-state bowl game where your fans really get to travel, really get to be a part of it. It was as cold as I've ever been in my entire life, but it was still a heck of a lot of fun. Tell me about being able to travel and play a bowl game in your state.
Yeah, it was a phenomenal experience for our players and for our team. The cities of Shreveport and Bossier did a great job of making us feel like they wanted us up there, really rolling out the red carpet, having a great set of events planned for our players, for our wives, for our coaches. The hospitality was second to none. I was disappointed the weather was so bad.
No.
Like between us and Houston, we'd had a really, really good crowd there. But man, it was a great matchup and a great opportunity. We got to play, a really tough Houston team that, that was one of our 4 losses in the final few minutes of the game. But it was a good ending in the sense that our kids, when our backs were against the wall, we found a way to perform well enough to get to a bowl game. Certainly that's not the standard that we expect, and we want more than that. But I don't think you could ask more from a bowl experience than what the Independence Bowl gave us in Shreveport. And I mean that wholeheartedly. That was really a lot of fun for us. And we'd love to go back. Hopefully the conditions are a little bit better outside next time.
Yeah, well, I can tell you, I was inside. I do PA for the bowl, and I was indoors and still frozen solid. It was pretty brutal in there, to say the least. I will say this though. The one good part about being the PA announcer for the Independence Bowl when you guys come up is your pronunciation guide is one of the best in the entire world. Not just because it's good and that they have good phonetic spellings, but just because of the kids that you've got on your team. Being a Louisiana kid, it's a little easier for me, but still, your pronunciation guide is a hell of a thing, Coach.
Yeah, people from outside the state, I think, have a little bit more trouble with it. So we got to detail that thing up, and you know how it is in Louisiana.
Mm-hmm.
You got Tronhons and Trahans and Desormeaux and Desormeaux, and you got everything in between. So there are some Richards out there, and not just Richard.
Yep.
So we got to kind of circle around that a little bit. But no, man, it kind of makes us unique, and we're fortunate we're in a great state where you got a lot of good players, so we get to sign a lot of local talent, and I think that just kind of adds to the culture and to the flavor of who we are a little bit.
You mentioned some close losses last year, and I know broadcasters anyway are of a couple of minds. Either it's a sign that your team's not any good, or it's a sign that your team's really close. And I know coaches usually think we're on the really close terms of things. You got a lot of guys coming back with experience off of that season. I know you have to feel pretty optimistic about that, because if one or two of those games go the other way, you're looking at an 8-win season, a 9-win season, that kind of thing. So I know for y'all, it has to be pretty optimistic going into this season.
Yeah, there's no doubt. We're really excited about this team that we've got coming back. It's a lot of fun for our coaching staff because we still have quite a few young players. There's only 10 seniors this year. It's a lot of juniors and sophomores, but it's a lot of guys that have played. And last year at this time, we knew we had some talented younger players. But there's not a lot of substitute for game experience, and sometimes I think the inexperience showed. Last year we had a new first-time play caller on defense, first-time play caller on offense with myself. Our special teams coordinator is new, so we had a lot of new things to work through, and certainly I think we've kind of settled in a groove here a little bit better. And I kind of go back to it. Last year I think when we got to the second half of the year, we kind of started to figure out who we were a little bit. Some of those young guys played a little bit better in critical time, and we found a way to win some of those games. But our league really, really seems to come down every year to the team that really finds a way to win the close games. Last year the top two teams in our division were 6-1 in one possession games and 6-2. The year before we're 7-0. Before that we're 7-1. So that's just kind of what it comes down to in this league. And, I certainly think that the experience, not just for the players, but for all of us, is going to pay off in the second year around. And, we're excited about the opportunity to go out there and get back on the field and kind of, hopefully get that taste out of our mouth a little bit last year.
Talking to Michael Desormeaux, head coach of the Ragin Cajuns. All right, so before we get on the field, I want to talk about a couple of things off the field, at least in terms of your staff, because you brought in an old friend of mine, but you also brought in a kid whose name is really well known here in the Shreveport area, in Jamarie Rasco. Kind of give me an idea of how that came about, how he ends up on the staff for you guys, because he was an Evangel product up here, a legend, and then, had a nice career in the NFL. How does he end up on your staff, and kind of what do you have him doing?
So Rasco has been just an incredible asset for us. He is such a good mentor for these young men. He's got great perspective on it from the player side, having played at all levels. From the coaching side of it, and he really he pours into these kids every day. And I got to say, I couldn't imagine not having him here. So he's on our strength staff.
Mm-hmm.
He's an assistant strength and conditioning coach, and he works more with the bigs in in the weight room, the O-line, D-line. But, having a resource like him, especially in the summer, we're so limited on what we can do with the kids,
Sure.
how much time we get to spend them as position coaches. To have a guy like him around that's played at the highest level, certainly I knew him as a player in high school and in college. So his body of work spoke for itself. But the way it came about, our head strength coach, Connor Neighbors, played at LSU with Rasco.
Okay.
So they were teammates. A ton of mutual respect between the two of those guys. And, whenever I hired Connor at the end of, 21, I was like, hey, let's put together the best strength staff that we can get. And, he's like, look, I really want to hire, Jamari Rasco. He goes, I just don't see any type of way where he wouldn't be, a perfect fit for us. And I agreed. He was with us the year before as a off the field coach with the defensive line.
Mm-hmm.
And I just saw the way the kids gravitated to him. And I said, well, if we can increase his role and have him around our kids, more often, then I don't see how that could be a bad thing. And it hasn't been, man. That guy is a rock star, man. He's going to have a great career in coaching, whether it ends up being as a position coach or he stays in the strength and conditioning world. I mean, the sky's the limit for him, and we're fortunate to have him here.
The other guy on your staff that I know is Matt Viator, who was at McNeese forever and knew him from there. Then was at ULM. Has kind of bounced around since then. V is one of my favorite people. And if you get a chance, ask him about the time that Larry the Cable Guy got to speak to his team before McNeese played Nebraska, because I actually set that up for him. And they almost beat Nebraska up there. And Larry the Cable Guy is actually texting me during the game saying, if word ever gets out that I talked to McNeese and then they came in and beat us at our place, he's a huge Nebraska guy and he lives there.
Yeah.
And he said, if word ever gets out that I talked to McNeese and they came in and won this game, he's like, I'm done for at Nebraska. Like, they'll never have me back. And I said, we'll just try to keep it under wraps. But, yeah, if you get a chance, ask V about Larry the Cable Guy talking to the Cowboys before the game. It was apparently a lot of fun. They had a great time with it.
Well, I will for sure. But Matt Viator is one of the critical pieces of this thing for us. And, for me, being a young first-time head coach in college football, having him in that room with me every day, he's got a lifetime of experiences that, I'm fortunate enough to get his input on things, and that's been a blessing for me.
No doubt. Let's talk about quarterbacks. You played a lot of guys last year. Get some guys back. Kind of give me an idea of how that quarterback battle's shaping out.
Yeah, last year, Ben coming out of camp, we weren't really exactly sure between Ben and Chandler, and played them both a little bit early. Chandler was a starter, and Ben would play a couple series a game, and Chandler kind of got dinged up a little bit, kind of towards, kind of the middle beginning, game 4. And then Ben took over. And whenever Ben took over, really kind of became the catalyst for us playing a little bit better on offense. And so you go through the season, you expect, things are going really good. He gets hurt in practice, actually, of all things. So then, you're kind of back to ground zero. And Chandler came back and played great. He was healthy at that point, played really, really well. We got to play a true freshman, Deion Chris, a little bit last year in the bowl game. Got to play the whole second half because Chandler was banged up again. And, you got 3 guys that have some playing experience, which has been phenomenal for us, that have played really well. But Ben being completely healthy this year, just his leadership qualities for us and the way that what he means to this team, the way he carries himself, all 3 of those guys are very talented. But that's, whenever you got 3 talented guys, you look for kind of what can separate them a little bit. And Ben's leadership and competitive spirit, I think, is what separates him. So, he's going to be the guy going into it week 1. And Chandler and Deion, we're going to encourage those guys to continue to compete every day because both of them are really, their guys are more than capable. So, we have, I think the quarterback room, that might be the best room, that we have in our program. It's just unfortunate, one of them really gets to play. So,
right.
We're very fortunate to have those 3 guys, on top of being great competitors and really talented players. They are phenomenal humans, man, and they go in there every day and they pull for each other. they help each other, they work for each other, and it's a pretty special group, really, that I'm fortunate to get to work with every day.
I tried to encourage when Northwestern State back in 2015 had 4 quarterbacks that they listed as number 1 on the depth chart. And I tried to get them to run the old Notre Dame box and just put them all back there at the same time. Have you ever thought about just running all 3 QBs out there at the same time, just seeing what happens?
I have not.
Okay,
no,
okay. Just think about it. Put it in your back pocket if you need a little trick play. Just go flag football style, right? Where you just throw it horizontally until someone gets open.
Well, I'm gonna write that down.
Okay.
I might
Rogers, he's currently writing down dumb idea from the guy in Shreveport. Don't call back. Hey, Coach, give us kind of the 10,000-foot view of the offense. Who are some of the guys that you're looking forward to seeing out there, and some names that are going to pop for us?
So this year the big thing is our offensive line is much improved from last year. Those guys have a year in it together. We've been a little bit healthier this year, which has been huge. That running back group has really, really turned the corner with Draylon Washington and Terrence Williams and Jacob Cabody and Zylan Perry. You got 4 guys that really to this point have played great. The true freshman Bill Davis is going to be really good, but his time's probably coming a little bit down the road. While he's still learning the protections and things like that. It's kind of funny. Last year we were really, really veteran at receiver. Felt like going into the year, hey, look, we might not be great on the O-line, with some issues that we've had. Got a new quarterback, got these young running backs, but, the receiving group should be really solid. Well, you fast forward a year and you graduate some guys, you got a couple guys that move on, and it's like, well, now the receiver group gets kind of flipped a little bit. So, we really expect Peter LeBlanc, Jake Bernard, Neil Johnson to carry the load as veteran players who've played a lot. But, man, they got some good young ones in that group that I can't wait to really see what they do under the lights. In fall camp, they've been impressive so far. Terrence Carter is a freshman tight end who's really got a lot of upside for us in the pass game and the run game. At receiver, Rob Williams is a sophomore who's been here for a few years. He's really dynamic. It's a guy that we kind of just kept waiting for it to click for a little bit, and it has throughout camp. You add, Tavion Smith in the mix there. He's a junior college transfer we've recruited for a couple of years now. And then Charles Robertson, the redshirt freshman from Zachary that's come to life a little bit, showed some signs last fall, while he was redshirting. Jaden Johnson's the same way. Another redshirt freshman. So there's a couple of those young guys that you like, man, I can't wait to see what they do under the lights. But, you have to depend on the older guys who have made those plays throughout their career to kind of carry the load until you figure out what are the next tier, the second and third team guys that can go out there and make plays for you and deserve to be on the field. So it's it's fun. Last year we were able to mix it up, run and pass a little bit more maybe than we had in the past, and we want to continue to do that. And I think with a much improved group on the O-line and at running back, I think we'll be able to run it more effectively, which certainly is going to help us in every aspect of what we're trying to do on offense.
Give us an idea of what the defense is going to look like.
So defense, you got a really young secondary. A lot of sophomores, a lot of juniors that have played quite a bit. On the back end, particularly at safety, we're long and fast and athletic. Those guys fly around. They're really disruptive. They've really grown in their communication skills on the back end, which is incredibly important. At linebacker, you lost your 2 starters last year, but the guys that are coming back, Casey Osai was practically a co-starter, played 50-50. Jasper Williams is a senior who's played quite a bit in his career. It's time for him to go. Kendra Gant is a really talented player who's missed some time with injury. Caleb Edwards is a true sophomore who last year played a bunch on teams, played quite a bit on defense. So really like that group at inside backer. On the D-line, we lost some really good players. You lost Zion Hill. You lost Andre Jones. But that group, that D-line group is really fun because it's kind of, I kind of told our team the other day, we're kind of the no-names right now. We lost a bunch of guys that played here for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like we've got some really talented kids coming up. And that D-line group, I don't know if you replace Zion Hill 1-for-1,
Right.
That guy, his career was phenomenal here. But you got to kind of spread the load. You kind of do it with strength in numbers, and I think we've got a more solid group up front all the way around. From top to bottom than maybe last year, where it was a little top heavy. But Antoine Bayless, who transferred in here, has been really, really good for us. Sonny Hazard and Marcus Weiser have played great in the middle. Jordan Lawson came on last year and had a really big year. Mason Northeast, he sat behind Zion for 2 years and played a backup role. It's time for him. He's had a really good camp in spring. And then Nigel McGriff, this is his 3rd year in the program. So for him, it's all starting to click a little bit, and got a couple of young guys, some freshmen out of high school that might play a little bit this year, that we're really excited about. So that group, I think, it's kind of a strength in numbers type deal there, and then on the edge, at outside backer, Cam Whitfield's played quite a bit for us. Cam George is coming along pretty good. We added Trey Fight to the mix, who, he's done some really good things for us athletically. So, defensively, again, like I said, it's kind of, it's a lot of guys that maybe it's their first time starting, but we're returning 30 guys that have played significant snaps on defense last year. So, maybe you got some new starters in there, but it's a lot of the same old faces that have played quite a bit.
Sure, and that certainly helps. Last couple things for you, Coach. Number one, you play Northwestern State to start the season, which obviously means something to me as the voice of the Demons, but you also had a kid with Northwestern State lineage in John Stevens Jr., on your team. He went to the Dallas Cowboys. He's converting to tight end. Unfortunately, tore his ACL, so he's going to be out for the season. But I'm kind of curious about, a kid with that kind of a journey, TCU to you guys, and then on up into to the Cowboys, where he was having a really nice preseason so far. And you hate to see that, but kind of a cool sort of Louisiana story, right? A kid that was from Logansport, whose dad was at Northwestern, who, made it to the Cowboys. I mean, a lot of just great ties with that kid.
There's no doubt, and John came here, and it was obvious early on, just what type of person John was, man. He came here with a smile on his face every single day. Physically, he's an absolute specimen. And he's had good moments for us here. I am not shocked at all that he got an opportunity to play in the NFL because of, the play history he's had here. And really, there's a certain thing that's called a look test, and he passes that in every sense of the word.
Mm-hmm.
The transition to tight end is hard, and to see him have the success that he's had at that position is just, that's phenomenal. Because it's not easy to do. I did shoot him a text yesterday. I found out yesterday that he got banged up, and I hadn't heard back from him. But, if nothing else, hopefully for him now, he knows he belongs there. He knows that he's got a niche, and he's played really well in that tight end position. And, hopefully that just kind of aids him, through his recovery, because, that's difficult. That's a difficult pill to swallow at times, to think, man, I was making all this progress and then this happened. So, I know John is very grounded. He's got a strong faith, and he believes there's a plan for him. And, I just hope for him he can come back completely healthy and really pick up where he left off, because all the reports we were getting, he was working on that 53-man roster,
mm-hmm.
and that's ain't many. There's 53 per team. There's not a whole lot that get to do it. So that says a lot about him.
Absolutely. Final thing, Coach, playing an in-state opponent, starting the season with Northwestern State. What's your mindset on that? A lot of these schedules are set well in advance, but how do you feel about, being able to sprinkle, even if it's an FCS opponent, being able to sprinkle in a Southeastern or a McNeese or a Northwestern State within your schedule every few years?
I would like to play an in-state team every year.
Yeah.
I just think it's silly, for the way that college football works now, where, some of these, an FCS team will travel across the country to go play, I don't know, maybe it's not a Sun Belt school, maybe it's a MAC school, it just doesn't make sense. It saves money and it creates money because it puts a lot of people in the stands. I love doing it. I think it's a great thing. I say it all the time. There's so many good players in this area that, they've got good football teams. Last year, Southeastern. I mean, that was, I don't know, it ended up being a 10-point game or 14-point game, but it was a good football game. You know, I expect Norfolk State to come in here, you know, and do the same thing and play really well. You know, I think it's cool because our kids know each other. Coaching staffs, you know, we're familiar with each other. You know, the D-line coach there this year, Coach Gistorb, was with us last year as a quality control guy. So there's so many paths that cross. I just think it's a good thing all the way around, you know. And for us, you know, we're excited to host them over here. Like I said, I mean, you know, it's just a quick trip right down I-49, and hopefully they'll bring a bunch of people. Our fans typically get really excited from the old, you know, the old Southland days whenever we were all in it together. So, to me, it's a win-win all the way around. I think it's, you know, first week of college football, 2 in-state teams playing. I just think that's a fun thing for the state, for our fans, and for our kids.
Yeah, hard to get any better than that. And obviously, I told you before we got on the air that you know, I'm a big believer when I travel. We may not win the game, but we're going to win the road trip. And I can promise you, with the food y'all got in Lafayette, we're going to win the road trip that week, Coach. I can promise you that.
Well, if you come here and you leave hungry, that's your fault.
Yeah.
So I would say you're right.
Yeah. Coach, always thank you for your time. We really do appreciate it. Best of luck to you guys this year.
Thank you all for having me.
All right.
Thank you guys.
Michael Desormeaux, head coach of the Ragin Cajuns down in Lafayette. All right, good stuff. Man, he's good. Just thorough. Got it all taken care of. Yeah, Rogers, I don't think he was writing down play 3 quarterbacks in the backfield. Great idea by that guy, the radio guy in Shreveport. Also, Rogers, can we work on their third quarterback? Can we work on his nickname? His name's Zion Chris. Think we can get him to call him Peter? Maybe think Peter, maybe his middle name's Peter. I don't know. Peter Chris. See if we can make that happen. All right, we'll take a break. Come back. More of the Patrick Netherton Show on 1130 The Tiger, 103.3 FM, the YouTube channel, all over the place. Go find us. We'll be back.
Bobby L. Green Plumbing has been in business for over 6 decades, 60-plus years. That's remarkable, since technology is always shifting and times change. Not only has Bobby L. Green Plumbing survived, they adapted to the modern marketplace, and they've thrived. Green Plumbing can spot trouble faster and repair it quicker using the latest technology. That eliminates your discomfort and saves you money. Bobby L. Green, the Green Team, the plumbing team you like best.
If you're looking for the finest in seafood, the finest in steaks, and a beautiful ambiance, you're looking for Two John Steak and Seafood, 2151 Airline Drive in Bossier City. It is absolutely spectacular, from the New Orleans-style courtyard to the ambiance of the bar to the elegance of the dining room. The best steaks, the best seafood, one of the best wine lists in town, and don't forget Friday lunch, where you can have a beautiful ribeye burger, just the tastiest one in town. It's Two John Steak and Seafood, and make sure you tell Big John we said hello.
At Rejuvenate, we specialize in medically monitored hormone replacement therapy, giving you the energy you need for all life's challenges. We can help get your day started. 1, 2, 1, 2. We can help with those long work days, and we can even make your nights longer. Rejuvenate. Let us be your age-defying clinic. Restore me, refuel me, rejuvenate.
We're your local bank in your community. So come on in and say hi. You'll like what you see at your service. At GBT. At your service. At GBT. At your service. At GBT. We're gonna make it right for you every day, every way. We're at your service. At GBT. At your service. GBT. Come on. We're more than a bank. We're the friend you turn to when it's gotta be right. No matter how big, no matter how small, we're here to serve you and we give it our all. 'Cause we're at your service. At GBT. At your service.
Member FDIC.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
The Dell Technologies Back to School event is on with deals on top tech for class, hobbies, and more. Now, when you buy, you support a cause. With every eligible purchase, Dell will donate to UNICEF in support of GIGA, a UNICEF ITU global initiative to connect schools across the globe to the internet. Accidental damage protection included. Get rare deals on select laptops and desktops powered by the latest Intel Core processors. Save now at Dell.com/deals. UNICEF does not endorse any company, brand, product, or service.
Yes, it's been a hot summer, but nothing is hotter than the guys of the Hooking Up and Tracking Down show. Gary McCoy, Mike Eccles, and Steve Graff will try to cool you down with laughter on topics of the great outdoors. Wednesdays at 11 and Saturday mornings at 6. The Hooking Up and Tracking Down show, heard exclusively on FM 103.3 and AM 1130 The Tiger.
I'm getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
So am I, because I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
If you're 19 or older with chronic conditions like asthma, diabetes, COPD, or heart disease, or are 65 or older, you are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine. It can help protect you against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Even if you've already been vaccinated with other pneumonia vaccines, Prevnar 20 may help provide added protection. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Tiger weather now.
We hit 107 yesterday, another record high on tap for us here again today with sunshine at 105. Excessive heat warning up through 9 o'clock tonight. Fair skies tonight, low 81. Partly cloudy, more record highs tomorrow at 107. Sunshine on Friday, Friday's high 108. Richard DeWettig of the Weather Channel.
103.3 FM and 1130 The Tiger.
Let's get to the meat of the matter with producer Rogers Hampton.
Hey, boy!
Here's your master of ceremonies, Patrick Netherton.
Get your motor running.
Head out on the highway, looking for adventure.
Patrick Netherton Show, 1130 The Tiger. Rogers and Patrick, that's us. We're gonna make you happy. Sounds pretty close, right? Spot on. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. Got the Lizzie Hale down. Oh, Mr. Misery. I still have that on my computer, by the way, from the last time I did it. Let's see, is it still in my, oh, it's not on my desktop anymore. I mean, I do have some gold on here.
I'm right now at a loss for words as to where my pants are at.
Right now at a loss for words for where my pants are at. That's R. Edward Hampton, ladies and germs, getting it done. I wonder where your pants were, Rogers. I don't even remotely recall the context for that story, for where that clip came from. Do you at all? Do you? What was it?
My suit pants.
Oh, your suit pants. Okay, you had to wear your suit. Was it for Griffin's funeral? It was since then. Okay.
I lost them since that funeral.
Okay, you lost them since then. Okay, I got you. I don't even remotely begin to know where my pants are at. That's just a quality clip right there, Rogers. You got to say that. All right, so good stuff with Michael Desormeaux, the head coach of the Ragin Cajuns. Appreciate him joining us. Going to be an interesting year down in Lafayette. That is a team that's got some playmakers. You know, they got to a bowl last year, got to 6 wins. Didn't win the bowl, so ended up going 6-7. But it's a team that's got some ability. They got some playmakers. They got some guys. So who knows? Maybe this will be the season. They'll figure it out. Sorry, I'm posting that conversation. There we go. So if you would like to see it, it is available on the Twitter and the Facebook of the Patrick Netherton Show. So go find it, and you can check it out. All right. We got any more texts? Oh, Johnny said Terry Funk also appeared in The Ringer, a movie I still can't believe was made about Johnny Knoxville competing in the Special Olympics. I remember that. He also had one episode role in The Magnificent Quantum Leap. I think I've asked you this before, Rogers. Last drama that you watched on television? Sopranos. I know 70s Show was really the last comedy you watched on TV, but Sopranos, interesting. I never watched The Sopranos. Didn't watch one thing. Never saw an episode. So good stuff. All right, I'm going to work on trying to get a coach or two maybe for the rest of the week. We've got Tulane that we haven't gotten. We never got Sonny Cumbie, but I'm probably not going to get him. I mean, they're already starting this week. I'm not going to bother him. It was our issue. We were supposed to record him last week, but with things kind of being the way they were up here, we didn't get a chance to record him. So we'll probably miss Sonny Cumbie. We're still fingers crossed that maybe Brian Kelly. We've been told they're working on it, and that's kind of all we can do is hope. So maybe a chance to chat with Brian Kelly. I don't know. And then I've heard nothing from Southern or Grambling at all. Tulane's gotten back to me and said, let's try to get it scheduled. I've just got to work on that. Obviously, I've talked to the Southland folks. We haven't gotten Tim Rebo from Nichols. We've not yet talked to him. And Willie Fritz at Tulane. Again, we're not going to get Sonny Cumbie just because his season's already beginning. And he came on Tech Tuesday yesterday with Fletch. By the way, how was Terry this morning?
We didn't have
You didn't have him this morning? Okay.
Start next week.
Next week. Oh, gotcha. Besides, how could you can't improve on perfection like the interview I had with Terry Bowden, Rogers. It can't be done. So again, Grambling and Southern, I just don't know. I've sent messages to their SIDs and have not heard anything back. And Tulane I've heard from. And really, so with not having Tech, it's Brian Kelly, it's Willie Fritz at Tulane, and it's Tim Rebo at Nichols. That's really what we have left to try to get. And Grambling and Southern, but I just don't think anything's going to happen with those guys, unfortunately. So if you would like to watch those interviews, they are available to you on the YouTube channel. Speaking of the YouTube channel, ladies and germs, if you would like to subscribe to the YouTube channel, we're trying to get 20 subscribers before next weekend. That's the start of football season. We'd like to be at 250 subscribers on the YouTube channel by the time football season starts. The way we would do that would be get 20 more subscribers by next Saturday. So if you have not subscribed to the Patrick Netherton Show and you would like to subscribe to the Patrick Netherton Show, we would love to have you. Go to youtube.com/@Netherton Show. YouTube.com/the @ and then NETHERTONSHOW, Netherton Show. And you can subscribe that way. And if we notice that you subscribed, we'll give you, we'll play a little kiss for you. We'll shout it out loud. We're not afraid to do that if we need to. Guess what, Hambone? This weekend is the start of the season for me on ESPN Plus. I don't know if you knew this or not, Rogers, but I'm doing ESPN Plus again this year. Yeah, I didn't know if you were aware of that or not, but yeah. So, and this year I'm adding soccer and volleyball. Dang, Rogers, we were looking for a soccer analyst. I should have hollered at Little Bit. Should have gotten Little Bit over here to do some soccer analysis. You think I could have gotten her to drop a "Hey boy" just randomly during the course of the broadcast? Think I could have worked that in? That'd have been fun. If I could have just gotten a "Hey boy."
Why would she say it?
I don't know, because that's her voice. It was clearly a perfect imitation of Little Bit's voice, Rogers. That was a perfect imitation of Little Bit's voice. Hey boy. It's exactly what she sounds like. She sounds like a horse Mickey Mouse, Rogers. She sounds like Mickey Mouse after a 3-day bender and a rock concert. Hey, boy! That's what she sounds like, Rogers. I mean, I can't do it any better than that. That's perfect. That's perfect. That is a perfect rendition of Little Bit. If you can only imagine what Lauren Hampton sounds like, what I just did is it. Like, that's it.
That's right up there with the Irsay has nothing to do with Richardson starting.
I mean, it's practically the same thing. It's practically the same thing. I don't know if Roger's is going to call me a freaking idiot because of it, but yeah, that's like Alec Baldwin doing Trump, right there. It's just perfect, just picture perfect. Yeah. So yes, but the ESPN Plus season does start this weekend. And it starts off hot and heavy. I got 3 games in 3 days. Got a Sunday soccer match followed by a Monday lunchtime volleyball match. As, again, UCLA is coming to Natchitoches for a match at 12:30 on Monday. So if you are so inclined, you take a long lunch. You're maybe a volleyball fan. Maybe you're a UCLA fan. Maybe you're just a fan of Power 5 teams coming to small towns like Natchitoches. It is your chance to see any or all of those things as UCLA comes to Natchitoches to take on the Lady Demons. It's going to be fun, man. I'm excited. I'm actually talking to their head coach tonight. We're going to chat a little bit, kind of get prepared for the match. Already got game notes from UCLA, so we got those going on, which is nice. Got to build my boards. Then I got soccer to worry about. That's Sunday. Volleyball Monday, volleyball Tuesday. And then, lo and behold, what do you know? It's Saturday football next weekend. Not on ESPN Plus. That won't be on the road. NSU at Michael Desormeaux' Ragin Cajuns, who we just talked to. And again, that video is live now. If you would like to watch it, either on you can find it on Twitter, you can find it on Facebook, or you can just go directly to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/@Netherton Show. That is our chat with Michael Desormeaux, the head coach of the Ragin Cajuns. All right, we'll be back to wrap this bad boy up. It's the Patrick Netherton Show, 1130 The Tiger, 103.3 FM, YouTube channel, Twitter, all that. Join us when we come back.
Don't get me wrong, don't think you got it made.
Bobby L. Green Plumbing has been in business